So Etsy came back and told these guys to shut the fuck up.
Good. Good. Yeah, go make your own infrastructure and sell your commie somewhere else. Yo, yo, yo.
Hey everybody, welcome to the SupWith podcast. Your host Dylan and
Russell, how you doing? Sup
we're
with
here
that?
about to ask what is sup with everything going on this week, next week, the other week. Starting
Your
off
mom's a
with
week.
what's up with the big beautiful bill,
Oh.
and then we're gonna go. We'll do just run through of all the topics we're gonna talk about in this episode. So the
Absolutely.
first, the big beautiful bill, and then we're gonna go into.
Sup with gunshots or fireworks? Is it gunshots or fireworks?
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Then we're gonna say what's up with the 4th of July. Why are illegals having more fun than libs?
Yeah, and then we're going to go and talk about alligator Alcatraz. And it's going to be great. Do you get a t-shirt? You're going to find out.
What's up with the White House having a UFC match on the White House lawn? Is this now democracy?
Yeah, and then we're going to go into the American Party. Is Musk absolutely retarded? We're going to find out. Do we need another party on top of the Green Party and the Independent Party? What's up?
Yeah.
What's up with that?
What's up with the Tucker Carlson and RFK Jr.? Going to do a deep dive on the hepatitis B vaccine. Supposedly it causes 1,135% more. Can't say it on YouTube. But you'll find out a little more later. We're also going to go into what's up with Sierra Ortega and a word you're not allowed to say on Love Island.
And not a word you're allowed to say in the first 5 to 10 minutes of this video. But it has something to do with this. Macron's wife, is she a man? Is she a pedophile? She did fuck him in school. It's all right.
Yeah.
Thomas Massie, everybody hates him. Why?
What's up with Thomas Massie?
What's
What's
up
up
with
with the
that?
hate? What's up with people not being able to just have a difference of opinion and still vote for somebody? What's up with Ozzy Osbourne? He's in the news lately. Typically he bites the head off of a bat, but recently he bit the head off of a homeless man and not the head above his shoulders. We'll get more into that later.
You're going to make me say this next one with a Trump hat on, with my white face on a camera?
Yep.
What's up with 1776 and slavery?
Yeah, what is up with that, Russell?
I don't know. We're going to talk about Thomas Jefferson's first drafts and what he wanted to include but couldn't include because of the Southerners were a bunch of fucking racist cocksuckers.
Yeah.
So,
And then we're going to go into what's up with the socialist from New York who just won the primary, Mamdani.
oh no.
There's my political career.
Political career's over. Any career, over.
Yeah.
Gonna be working blue collar forever. Blue collar forever. If they like me.
Arnold Schwarzenegger over here. Blue collar forever.
Blue collar forever.
So,
I lift things up and put them down.
the big, the beautiful, the bill. You know more about this bill than I do. Why are people upset about the bill? And why the hell should we care?
Well, my assumption on it is I know more about the bill. I don't know shit about shit. It's just you got a bunch of people who wanted a bunch of shit in there that didn't really need to be in there. Just spending a lot of money. $5 trillion.
Yeah.
$5 trillion is the budget now. It's fucking crazy. But you know what? As much as I want to talk about the bill, I got to talk about the flyover and the way the bill was signed into law.
Hell yeah.
Dude had a fucking crowd of people on the White House lawn. They sang the national anthem. They had the B-2 with the fucking F-35s flying over. Then he made a speech that I only watched 5 minutes of because my wife wanted to watch some stupid YouTube video. And that's what happens to me half the time. I try to prepare for the show and I can't. I end up having to watch some dumbass shit. And it's all right. But no, I thought that was cool. But it's in.
Yeah, that's cool. He did get it done. He said he was gonna have the vote before
On the 4th of July.
Gonna sign on the 4th of July. Said nobody can go on vacation until it happens. And
So they gave that motherfucker a parade, pretty much. They're like, here you go. We're gonna have a big party. Sign this bill.
Yeah.
You know what? We could nitpick the bill for hours, but we got the fucking the tax shit done.
Yeah.
The tax cuts.
This is where I have like an independent view on this stuff. I think there are a lot of great things in the bill. And I don't like when either voice on the political spectrum, they come in and they say, this bill is terrible, it's disastrous, it's murderous, like it's the worst thing that ever happened. And then you have the other side, it's like, this is the best thing that ever happened. There's nothing bad in here at all. This is
Right.
the greatest thing that ever happened to America.
Right.
And the truth often lies somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, can't the bill just be like, all right, this is where we are now, and if we grow, it won't be that bad. If we fucking don't grow, then we got some problems.
Yeah.
But
He was right on the tariffs. Everybody was really worried about that. Tariffs are going to sink this country. Oh my God, we just got to remove his rights to be able to inflict tariffs on this country. And now, stock market's booming. All these countries, we have the greatest deals. Really, I think America's had in a couple decades come through. Vietnam, I forget the details on that, but they just signed an agreement with Trump where basically they're going to tax their own tariffs. So instead of us,
they're gonna assume the cost.
they're going to put a tariff on the products that they send to America. Instead of us tariffing and collecting the taxes and having this way it still kind of equals out the playing field. But
so you're telling me my sneakers are going up?
Well, the idea there is it'll spur more manufacturing in America and even out the cost.
Yeah.
This way, now at least Americans are.
I'd rather buy my shit from them than give it to fucking China.
Yeah.
Any one of them countries. Taiwan, fucking Vietnam. Taiwan is a country. It is a place.
Oh my God.
Gonna be the first person to get shot when they take over. It's all right.
Sheesh. Who was it? I think John Cena. He was shooting a movie years ago, and
Yeah, they made him bend the knee. They're like, Taiwan is not a place.
Yeah.
It's part of China.
Yep. And
There's no independence.
Otherwise, this movie would have been dropped.
Yeah, they fucked them. They I don't know what movie fucking company it was, but yeah, we're gonna be talking about them later for something else too. I keep looking up and seeing it. I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm waiting for that one. But hey, you know what? Something I saw today, actually, this morning. I don't know how old it is because I don't watch cable, so I don't see anything live. I get fucking anyways. Among GOP, you know what Trump's approval rating is?
87.
No, not that good.
Oh no.
No, but it is 63%. But if you go and compare it to all of the, like, over the last, 40 years, he is the highest rated, his approval rating is the highest out of all from the GOP polling.
Okay, yeah, so from his own base.
Not his own base, from the Republican Party. Just because you're a Republican doesn't mean you love Trump.
And what is it on the other side?
Oh, I don't know, but who cares? They're all the Democrat Party is still at what 20? They're in the 20s right now. But all right, so the individual rating for it is 63% for the GOP.
Yeah.
CNN had to report that. That was on CNN.
Yeah.
And that was fun to watch. Them just fucking squirming, having to say this.
They had a poll on CNN and MSNBC saying what percentage of Americans approve of the deportations.
Yeah,
way more than 50%.
It was like 80%.
I was like, oh my god,
74%.
How did they get there reporting this wrong?
They're like, oh fuck, we got it way wrong.
Yeah, but I also don't believe in polls. But it's like what CNN.
No, polls are retarded.
I don't know.
All right, so certain polls. There's maybe 2 or 3 reliable polls, and even then, sometimes they're not. Sometimes you miss the mark. These guys, the polling places, they get their information the same way I get my information. I don't watch live TV. I don't see what's happening right at the moment. People change on the whim.
Yeah.
You know? Especially now. It's look at what's going on with the Republican Party. It's within a couple weeks, fucking they got infighting, whole bunch of bullshit. And then I don't know. Fucking
I like, if we're gonna go off of polls, I would like to see these pollsters. I don't know if anybody's ever recommended this before, but I'm sure this isn't groundbreaking. But third party verified polls. So like Rasmussen or somebody comes out with a poll.
Rasmussen's good.
There should be just like we do with medical journals. It has to be peer reviewed. So there should be a plethora of other investigators out there that get to go through the data. Let's say it's blinded, or they could see the unblinded version because they have the credentials, and then give their rating on how good the polling was. Otherwise, it's like we just have to trust them.
Right. Well, I mean, like, you ever look at like their polling base, like for some of those polls, like a lot of the ones that lean left, they have like 50% fucking Democrats in there, and then they'll have 25 independent or 25 Republican, and they're like, oh yeah, she's gonna win,
Yeah.
based off of that, you know.
Yeah.
And then, to be fair though, sometimes they'll have like, 39% Republican, 39% Democrat, and like 10% independent, and that kind of, you get a better picture that way. Sometimes it should just be like, 33%, because if you're doing it based off of Democrats, Republicans, and independents, it should be 33, 33, 33.
It's close to. I think independents are like at 28% or something.
No, what I'm saying is like have it
Well,
equal amounts of people from each party.
I think it should reflect the turnout in the election you're trying to. So if you're doing the American election, say how many likely voters are going to come out from each party, and then and you kind of like you do the math of like, well, the last election,
Right.
what percentage? Because like
What percentage showed up?
Let's say it was all 33. That 1/3 of Americans are independents, 1/3 red, 1/3 blue. But then when the elections happen, not that many independents show up.
Right.
So it's like, all right, we shouldn't just go off of what's the register. We should go off of what actually happens, and make sure that our polls
Right.
are
You compare it
reflecting
from last time.
the electorate. Yeah,
That makes sense.
yeah, something like that.
What do we know? Right.
Nothing. Just a lot about Chinese eyes.
Oh no. She stared into the sun the moment she was born.
Okay. That's what happened.
She was born outside, and the sun was in her eyes.
Yeah.
Oh no! I can't wait. I can't wait for that.
What is up with the 4th of July? I'm seeing a bunch of things. This is like just TikTok brain, but TikTok liberals are very upset with the 4th of July, and they're not sure if they can go outside and celebrate. They're not sure if they can wear red, white, and blue. I think they all went outside on the 4th of July with veils on, black, crying, mourning the loss of their beloved country. And then, so I see all this on TikTok. I get home, I look outside, I see all my neighbors are illegal immigrants, and they are having the loudest parties I've ever seen. So much fun.
How do you know?
I talk to them.
How do you know for sure?
So then it just shot in my mind. I was like, how can illegal immigrants have more fun than a lot of libs? I don't know what's going on with me.
Well, because they fucking, this might be a hot take, but they fucking risked their life getting here.
Yeah.
They fucking better love it. Yeah. Some of them, at least, the ones that want to work and do shit, they love it more than the libs love it. They don't love it at all. They hate it. They've been saying it for years. They hate it. I hate it.
They hate this country. Yeah.
That's the difference, I think. Like, and not all of them. Like, I don't want to make a blanket statement about them, but you see so much of it. It's like, libs don't like the country unless there's a Democratic president. We don't like the Democrat being president, but we still love the fucking country.
Yeah.
No matter what. I don't care if fucking Mao was the president of the country. I still love the country. Still love what it represents, what it means. Even
if Mamdani was the
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be going to New York anytime soon, but fucking yeah.
Yeah. It's like you could separate the person from
yeah,
politics.
from what it represents, because it's not just It's not just the past 50 years of all the bullshit, the military industrial complex, all that shit. Like, there was a country before this. It's an imperfect nation. It's an experiment. It is.
So is every country. But I heard recently, it's like, you know,
Yeah,
if
but
America
we're the better country.
exactly. If America was so terrible, why are so many millions of people trying to break into here?
Right. Like, why? They could go anywhere else.
Yeah.
They could go to fucking, they could go to,
They'll
they could go
say,
to
"Oh,
jolly old England.
They're walking up here from Central America and stuff. Have you seen all the interviews down there at the border when they're interviewing illegal immigrants? This is
Some of
nuts.
them.
Most of the people coming in aren't from South America or Central America. They caught flights from the Middle East, Azerbaijan,
Right.
China. Then they go to Central America. Then they walk up through the assistance of the cartels, who charge them like about $10,000. A lot
Right.
of times, family members that they come with don't even make the trip. So it's young men who they have.
You're
better
right.
odds of getting through.
There's plenty. There is plenty of fucking quote unquote civilized first world countries on the other side of the world that every lib and everybody praises so much for having the free health care, all that shit. But no, they're catching flights and going to South America and trekking through the fucking Amazon all the way up to get here. Why?
And even let's say, because this would be, I'm trying to steel man a liberal's argument watching this and say, well, Sweden is a great country and they have access to healthcare and stuff. Well, people aren't climbing that border because they get kicked out and arrested. They have immigration control there, so we can't
Do they?
have. In some of these countries, yeah, you get
Some of them now, but they weren't back in the day.
You get kicked out.
Yeah.
They have real immigration laws.
Yeah, try sneaking into Iran. try getting there. They don't see that. Oh, but every culture is equal. Every culture is great. But, you know, but we're terrible.
Yeah.
But everybody's fighting to get here.
That is one of the things that with this Israel war, they're trying to the people that are all anti-Israel and pro. I mean, there are some people out there that are pro Hamas, but not. I think most of them are just pro Palestinian people, and children being murdered.
Yeah, they don't want the genocide. They don't want I don't know. I don't know if that's the right word. That word gets thrown around a lot now.
And people don't like to see death on any
Yeah,
side.
we don't want to see war. We want peace.
Some of these people that go too far with it, I think they're also forgetting that like this country is something you would never want to see in America, like the way they stone women to death.
How you doing?
My new intern.
He made it in. He made it into the podcast. Come on.
Yeah, let him drink.
Let him drink. Let him get drunk. Nah. But, I forgot what we were talking about.
We can move on to alligator Alcatraz.
Yeah.
A little bit about this. I've heard from a bird about Etsy. Etsy is under fire right now from creators saying that they are going to leave, and they are leaving Etsy, over people selling merchandise for alligator Alcatraz. So these...
What's Etsy?
Etsy is this, like, I don't know, Poshmark. They sell knickknacks, stickers, clothes. It's an online store. So these creators who are making stuff for Etsy are saying, well, we're not going to sell our stuff anymore on Etsy if you allow these other people to sell those things, because we think it's just so vile and racist and disgusting. So Etsy came back and told these guys to shut the fuck up.
Good. Good. Yeah, go make your own infrastructure and sell your commie shit somewhere else.
Yeah. They threatened.
That's what they tell us to do. Make your own YouTube. Make your own this.
Yeah.
Huh? We made Parler, shut down. Made Rumble, made all this stuff. Go make your own infrastructure then. You don't want to sell it on their tough shit. I don't know. That's my opinion on it. It's fucking capitalism, baby.
Yeah.
Sell whatever.
Etsy comes back and says, it's almost like they're trying to unionize against, Etsy in a way. Like, we're all gonna walk hand in hand off this platform.
Walk out.
It's all right, walk out.
Walk out.
Etsy's like, actually, if you keep harassing us, this is Etsy. Etsy's like, well, we're gonna kick you off. And send us one more email about alligator Alcatraz.
You're overflowing
and we're
the
shutting
network. getting too many emails. Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
For I survived out. I'm gonna get that shirt. I'm gonna buy it.
It should have an alligator bite out of the shirt, like on the bottom somewhere.
Just a piece of cloth missing.
I survived alligator Alcatraz.
Yeah.
That'd be a great shirt for somebody like is already missing an arm or a leg.
Oh no.
At what cost?
Oh no. Did you see Trump there? Have you seen anything from the?
I know nothing about alligator Alcatraz.
He was there. They were doing like a tour, and what did he say? He said Biden wanted to put me in here, and he called him a son of a bitch. He's getting free with it, bro. As soon as he dropped that F-bomb on live TV, he's just like, fuck it. I'm saying whatever the fuck I want.
Give the people what they want.
I'm going to have a parade on the front lawn. I'm going to have a flyover. I'm going to sign a bill in. I'm going to make a big speech. I'm going to tell Biden to go fuck himself. Fuck. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. He's going in.
He's going to have a UFC match on the White House
lawn.
White
House lawn. Conor McGregor's going to take Musk and beat the shit out of him.
I wonder if Trump will fight Musk on the White House lawn for this UFC match, or will they have stand-ins? Will they say, I'm going to put up my guy versus your guy? Musk funds McGregor or something, which probably Trump would fund McGregor. I think they got a better
probably. Conor McGregor, from what I hear, loves Trump.
Musk will fund Thomas Massie.
No, he's like, I'm going to put my money on Jake Paul. Jake Paul's going to fight Conor McGregor.
Jake Paul? That guy looks pretty good.
We'll
I don't know if they're in the same weight class, but...
I mean, Conor, dude, I'm not big into fucking UFC. I've seen like a couple of fights here and there. See like some YouTube highlights of fights, but how old's Conor McGregor now? You think he would fuck up Jake Paul?
I get the brothers mixed. Jake Paul and Logan
Jake Paul is the blonde one, I think.
The shorter one who's way more stocky.
The one who fought
that guy's
the one
wild.
who fought Mike Tyson.
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
He's good.
You think he would think Conor McGregor would fuck him up? Oh no. You think Jake Paul would fuck up Conor McGregor?
I think Jake Paul would fuck up Conor McGregor in a fight.
I haven't seen Conor McGregor fight.
That's how I got into UFC. Not barely in it, but yeah, McGregor. What was his first fight that got he got won $60 million?
You're asking the wrong person.
He got $60 million. It was streamed everywhere. Lost. Then he went up and did another major fight. Lost. It's I haven't seen Conor McGregor win a fight.
I don't know.
He just has this.
Does Jake Paul do UFC or does he do boxing, like straight up boxing? Because it's different.
I think he does UFC. He just did boxing for Mike Tyson.
Okay.
Because he's older.
I know you're asking a lot out of me. I don't know shit about shit.
Who would be some good matchups for the White House UFC? And I hope they install the cage permanently.
It'd be great. Rand Paul versus Donald Trump.
Okay. Every time they have a disagreement or something tied up in the house.
Right.
All right.
Yeah. Let's go. We're going out on the lawn. We're gonna take it outside.
Yeah.
You're gonna sign this. We're gonna pass this bill. I'm gonna fuck you up.
Did you just say the big beautiful bill isn't beautiful?
You said it's ugly?
Outside right now.
Oh, what's his name? Akeem Jeffries. Fucking. You said it's an ugly bill? Meet me outside, motherfucker.
Dude, in 5 years, everybody that gets elected to the House is just ripped, dude. Because
right? Everybody's yoked up. They're fucking nasty. They're like, I'm ready to fuck you up.
If you had to elect the strongest senator instead of...
That'd be some good leaders, bro. At least they can throw down.
Yeah.
Then I was up here you really care about that issue that much? Fight about it. Let's go. Let's fuck each other up on the front lawn.
Do you think Congress would get more Republican or Democrat if they all had to be good fighters?
You really asking me that?
It seems like an obvious question.
Bro, fucking a whole it would be it'd be independence. There would be no libs.
It would be a red wash.
Dude, what are they gonna do? Throw fucking stick figures in there to fight them?
Yeah.
That's what they all look like, bro. They all look like fucking paper thin. We got fucking David Hogg in the fucking octagon.
Even their diets are completely different. You'd have the blue fighter who's grown up on seed oils and fake meat and tofu.
Right.
And
Then you throw RFK in there at his age, he'd probably fuck them up.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
He'd fucking grab the head and fucking crush it.
RFK versus Conor McGregor. Who would win?
Oh boy. Well, all right. Just because you're strong doesn't mean that you know how to fight, though, either. So these guys got to learn how to fight.
All right, maybe we should dwindle it down.
Does RFK? Yeah, right.
RFK versus Mike Tyson.
Oh, I don't know, man. I mean, that's kind of
Mike
like
is just.
dude. Mike's nasty
He got
with it.
so winded though.
Yeah, but he's.
I think give them both 6 months to prep. I think RFK prep for 6 months.
But does he know? But does he know how to fight?
He's got the best people. He hire him.
Yeah, that's true. You could train. You could learn, but you're not gonna. But that's what I'm saying. Like Mike Tyson has experience. He's been fighting forever.
Because you don't watch the fight. Mike Tyson's last fight.
I seen
such hope. I was
which
rooting
one?
on him for winning.
Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Of course I will. I watched that.
Oh, Mike Tyson came out so sluggish, and
but
he was winded by the end of the first round.
I know, but you got to think about like he's fighting. Jake Paul's what? My age, 28.
I get that, but I
Mike
also
Tyson
think Jake was taking it easy on him. It was very few punches.
I know,
and he was still just.
I know. I get what you're saying. You know what? Now I can't get that out of my head. RFK versus Mike. No, I want to see the politicians fight. We're dragging Mike into this fucking thing. I want to see the politicians fight.
Just saying how strong
of like
Kennedy
dead
is
ass
for
fight
70
over
years
shit.
old. Yeah. Who else hates each other in there? I guess everybody against Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh no, I like my. Did you see her Tucker interview?
No, I want to though. She's coming out strong against geoengineering, and I like that.
She's coming out against what?
Geoengineering. So
What's
they're
that?
these companies that have come out with it. They've one of them just had an interview, I think, on Tucker, where they put certain what do you call these? I forget what it is. Chemicals or particulates into these jets. And into the jet fuel. So when the jets are flying around, they release it. But the particulates change the density in the sky, so it alters the weather. And it's better.
And she's against it?
She's against changing the weather.
She's against changing the weather.
They're manipulating the weather for whatever reason, so they can have more rain for farmers this time of year. So.
Oh, you're talking about cloud seeding.
Cloud seeding, yeah. But the thing is, the material that they're using to do cloud seeding is
toxic shit.
terrible to breathe in. It's terrible to have in your soil that then gets absorbed by the food that your child is eating. So I like that she's coming around to that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's a big issue, but it's like a one thing issue. You got to watch that interview.
Yeah.
Just watch it, all right?
Check it out.
She made a lot of good points, and yeah, I'll let you watch it before we talk about it.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Who else?
What, against who? Nancy Mace?
I don't even know.
That's GOP versus GOP.
Oh, I want to see Elizabeth Warren against anyone.
Anyone? You just want to see her get fucked up.
They would never fight, but AOC versus Elizabeth Warren?
You imagine, though, if that's how it was? Like, you had to fight about it?
Yeah.
Like, like instead of like, oh, we're gonna raise this money and we're gonna do this and we're gonna beat you that. No, you gotta fuck all that shit. You gotta get in there and fight, just to even mention it.
I think you'd have to. Then you'd see who really cares about. The
Right.
issue.
You'd see the issues like, do I really want to get fucked up for this?
Do I want to break my face for men to pee in girls' bathrooms?
Right. Right.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry, we're gonna let you hang out to dry. Fuck
turns
that.
out I'm not willing to die for that.
Turns out I'm not willing to get fucked up for that. You know what you'd see though? This would fix the age problem. It would fix that in a heartbeat. All the people.
Sanders versus anyone
No.
under 30.
Like if they had to fight about it, all those people would be like young fucking. Well, maybe not. They would be in like the prime of their life. They'd be like, 25 to like 45.
Yeah.
If you take care of yourself, you go in. It'd be like that age demographic. They all had to fight. If you lost, you lost.
Yeah. Maybe we could do a 3-prong thing, because now what if we just get these complete dummies in there? If
Yeah,
we
that's true.
fight, so the best out of a UFC fight, a chess match, and a U.S. history trivia.
U.S. history trivia.
Yeah.
Oh man,
And so best
I'm
two out of three.
gonna get beaten in two
So at
categories.
least then Bernie might get a shot. He'll get demolished, and
He
he could
might.
just say, "Never mind, I don't want to do the fight." And
Right. He would. Yeah. He'd be. I do the trivia.
Yeah.
I do the trivia. Fucking remembering everything. Some of them would. They'd be all right. But no, it's like, all right, you picked, you only get to pick that a couple times. Eventually, you're gonna have to throw down.
Yeah.
You can't just fucking sub out trivia every time.
Yeah.
You want this that bad, you're gonna have to fight about it. Oh, I don't know.
Joe Rogan versus AOC.
Oh no, politicians. It's gotta be
Joe
politicians.
Rogan, I think, would run for a political seat.
Yeah, you would.
If this was it, he's like, "That's it."
He'd be like,
"Texas,
I'm-
you
I'm-
need a new senator."
Yeah, I'm running. I'm gonna fight. I want to fight.
The America Party.
Yeah, well, that's what we were on, right?
Yeah.
That's what we were talking about.
Well, we just did a White House UFC match.
No, we brought up the America Party, didn't we?
I guess America Party, Elon Musk.
You want my short take on it? I think it's stupid.
You think it's disagreement live?
All right.
I think there needs to be a third party, but there are a lot of other third parties out there already. Do we need to make a brand new one?
Yeah, that wouldn't be a third party. That would be like a sixth party.
But all the other ones, they don't get above 1%, so it's like
How many
matter.
people do you think are really independent in the country?
I think literally, if they had a good option,
Yeah,
about 30 to 40%.
30 to 40%, right? If they had a good option, you're saying that 30 or 40% of the country is independent.
Yeah.
All right. So then why aren't they showing up for third party candidates? Because they don't have a good option?
Well, so I could. It's not only not a good option, but the landscape has been destroyed for third parties. So, for example, it's expensive to get on the ballot in all 50 states. You have to have basically you have to have billions of dollars.
But that's my point, though. Like, if he starts an American party, they're going to be faced with the same.
Well, he's the only guy that could actually do it because he's the richest guy in the world.
Yeah. Well, then why doesn't he just fucking support a third party candidate, like an independent candidate?
Perhaps there are committees that he'd have to, I guess, influence or buy out. He wants more control over the exact committee process, so he wants to start. Which I get, if he has that much money, it would just be pennies in the barrel to start his own.
Yeah, but you also have to take into consideration that he is the richest guy in the world, but there's a lot of fucking money that goes into both the Republican and the Democrats. And if they all fucking team up against him, the reason, I think if they had a good candidate, that she had a lot more money last time around. She just sucked. That's why she didn't win. It was not about the money.
Who, Kamala?
Yeah.
Oh.
She just sucked. She wasn't a good option. But she had a lot more money. So it's like, how much is he willing to spend on, how much of his worth is he willing to sacrifice to
I think if you got,
maybe make it over the line and get on ballots and get on things?
and you don't need to win in order to influence. So you can see what even with RFK Jr., he started off strong, 25%. By the end of it, which I think those polls were still a little wrong because they wanted to disenfranchise people from voting for him, but they're saying he's around 5 to 10%. That was enough for him to get Trump to say, "Hey, you endorse me, I'll put some of the values you were running for into my administration." When you're paying for values, not exactly to win. So if Elon could put together some sort of party where he had enough influence to at least make another party suggest that they would take up those policies or at least care about them, then the money was well spent.
Yeah.
Of like fixing the budget. All of a sudden, he creates a party. He never wins an election seat, but all of a sudden now the parties are actually caring and going ahead and trying to decrease the budget, that's a win for the dollar spent, ROI. But the left and the right have such a stranglehold on politics. For example, when I tried getting Kennedy on the ballot in Rhode Island, check this out, and a lot of states are like this. The ballot order, unfortunately, has a lot of got a lot of zest to it. So when you go and you're checking off whether you want to vote for Kamala, Trump, or Kennedy, whoever else, whose name goes first. That's really important because there are a percentage of people who kind of just go up and
They look for the two names,
Yeah.
the two at the top.
the two at the top. They think those are the most important. Those are the people that actually matter. The rest of them are just all no names that have no shot. So
They get them confused with local representatives too,
Oh yeah,
because they're further down the list.
I didn't think of that. That's true. And so in Rhode Island, the first two slots automatically locked in to Republicans and Democrats. There are third parties out there. Why is it only between Republicans and Democrats? The rest of the parties have to fight over third to fifth place or whatever other place.
Right.
So they have two different lotteries. They have the first lottery, just like you see with the balls in the air, and they spin around and a number comes out. One was assigned to Republicans, so Donald Trump gets to go first. Automatically, Democrats are second on the ticket. Now let's see who gets third, and they have a whole separate lottery for the rest of them. So right there, I mean, people talk about implicit bias and the way like America is just set up against certain people or parties. There's definitely a bias against a third party runs, even in just that alone. But when you go into also signatures, like you do not have to get nearly as many signatures in these states for Republican or Democrats as you do for independents. Independents have to gather 1 million signatures nationwide
Just to get on.
on the ballot, and
Right.
then they get sued by everybody to
Right.
take them off.
Yeah, get off.
So they have to have millions of dollars more
Just to
in
fight.
in
to
the
stay
lawyer
on.
fund.
Yeah.
And then the political debates, that's a huge issue. You want to get on a stage to fight and say your piece
Right.
against the other two opponents, but you have to be eligible for enough electoral college votes by the time the debates are held. But now the problem with that is every state has their own timeline of when they could say whether or not you're on the ballot in their states. And until you are officially on the ballot in at least half of the electoral college votes, that means you're not eligible to win.
Have we ever even had a fucking debate with three people?
Ross Perot, I believe.
Yeah, but wasn't Ross Perot. He wasn't there, was he? Didn't he do like a telecom thing? Like not a telecom thing, but he did his like he recorded a response to the debates.
Maybe.
That's before my time, but
we could pull it up, Jamie.
pull it up,
We
Jamie.
need a Jamie.
Yeah, we do. Fucking.
But Kennedy did his own recording.
I watched that.
It was awesome.
I watched the debates and then I watched that after.
So he wasn't allowed on the stage because of exactly what I said. He made it by the deadline. Every state has said, you have to get in your thousands of signature by this date. He did it, and then each state, you would think, all right, a couple weeks for them to count, a month top, whatever. Some of these states are like, all right, well, your deadline is January 2024, and then they didn't count his votes until September. The media has decided for America who is a viable candidate because, hold on, I only seen two people on the stage, so that must be who's eligible to vote for. But they have
Right.
no idea that that's not the truth. The politics were corrupt from the beginning and set against independence. So not only do you have to be super rich to get an actual viable candidate, but we have to lobby to get some of these laws changed, and that's going to be a hell of a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, look at how slow everything moves. Just when you get that ball rolling, like the momentum dies from it, and within like nothing really lasts more than like 2 years. Hey, how you doing? Wow.
What's up, buddy?
You made it in. Don't show them your ass again.
The fan loves the ass. Show him the ass.
I don't know. I think that I was gonna bring. Yeah, I think that because Trump tried to do this at one point too, right? Before he ran.
Independent?
Yeah, before he ran as a Republican, he tried to make a third party. Not a lot of people remember that. I only know that because fucking I watch a lot of YouTube videos and shit.
Was it early in 2016 or like way before?
Nah, I think it was in like the early 2000s, I want to say. Like, he's been talking about running for a long time, like before 2016. He was like, I think, I can't remember exactly who it was, but I think like some fucking white supremacist or something got involved with it or said it was a good idea, and he was like, nope. And he like backed away from it.
Oh.
It's like, I don't want the support from that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be anywhere associated with it. So he was like, forget it. But I think that he also recognized at that point that it's an uphill battle from there. It's better to just try to reform the Republican Party, which is kind of what he did.
Yeah, he did.
If you can work from the inside of the system to change, because like if you look at the Republican Party now versus fucking 10 years ago, it's not the same. I mean, there are definitely some aspects of it that are the same, but we come around on a lot of things, you know?
Yeah.
You don't really see Republicans, like, you see the base of like the heart, like the evangelicals and the Christians, like that part of the base, you know, there's still, I don't even know too much about, like, they're still fighting about about certain issues like same-sex marriage and things like that. Like, so, like, they're still fighting on those, like, the social issues of things, but realistically, like, that's not what gets you elected anymore. Like, I don't support this, or I don't support, like, it's, I don't know. He reformed it. It's different. We're more, I hate saying this, but we're kind of more laid back now. I think we're more liberal. I think liberals are more socialist now.
Yeah.
I think the whole country has moved a little bit to the left, but also I think the right has kind of said, like, all right, we can go a little bit to the left on certain social issues and certain things, but we need to keep common sense in what we're doing.
Yeah.
Too.
I think so. I'd agree with that. I think Trump is not as far Republican as a lot of other Republicans we've had historically. Especially these neoconservatives. You have George Bush, which I think is just so funny. And it shows you how politics really are. George Bush being buddy-buddy with Obama.
Yeah.
Obama. That's just...
They're all kind of buddy-buddy, though.
George Bush is so neoconservative, wants to get us into every war. Dick Cheney is like the poster child for the military-industrial complex. And then he endorses Kamala Harris. And I'm like, all right, so...
Who did, Dick Cheney?
Dick Cheney.
Oh, yeah. I remember, yeah, didn't his daughter, too? Didn't she endorse her?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. That was right after she lost by like 30, like the most fucking points, like 30 points in Wyoming or something like that.
Sheesh.
Lost her re-election. She got fucking smoked, bro.
Wow. Well, the 10 people that wanted to vote for me, make sure you vote for Kamala.
They're like, no, we don't want you. Fucking get out of here. And then she's like, I support Kamala Harris.
Yeah. But
Like,
no,
yeah, how'd that work out for you, lady?
I think a third party, it's very dangerous. I understand why people are worried about it because if you do it wrong, it could. But each party has this to worry about. The Democrats say, I don't want a third party because it could help the Republicans win. And the Republicans say, I don't want a third party because you're going to split our base and help the Democrats win.
I tell you what, I think with the time that we're in now, like 10, 20 years ago, couldn't do it. But I think, like, Kennedy got a lot of momentum in this. Well, you know, I think that if you were going to do it, it would be now to do it. And it might work out. But it could also go the same way where you end up throwing a lot of fucking money into nothing. You get what I'm saying? With the power of the internet and the power of, like, reaching people instantaneously. You know, the country has to be on board with it, though. They can't, because the third party is like, you're like, yeah, you kind of, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a good analogy for it. It's like playing chicken right up into the last second.
Speaking of Kennedy, he was on Tucker Carlson recently talking about vaccines. YouTube will hopefully not take us down for covering a story that's
Don't be gay about it.
millions of people have already talked about and care deeply about, and no matter what side of the issue you're on, this story right here, this study, was funded by the CDC. The Verstraeten study came out and saying that there was a 1,135% increase in the magic word autism from the hepatitis B vaccine. Looking at the difference between children who got the vaccine in the first 3 months of life versus those who either waited after 3 months or didn't get it at all. So now here, you can look at it in several ways as the far, even on this, it's quote unquote anti-vax spectrum. You got people who, don't want to ever take another vaccine. There's no way a vaccine could ever be safe. And then you have a lot of people who get lumped into an anti-vaccine spectrum, but they're really just looking for safer vaccines, and they want more cautious studies that you would expect with gold standard research. And that's half of the study right here is showing you that even if you just delay the schedule of the hepatitis B vaccine, 1,135% increase in autism you would potentially miss. So they have this study in front of them, and they have pretty much a fire alarm went off, and they said, stop everything, we need to have a meeting. So they go have a meeting, everybody sits around, and I believe it was they have the minutes from the study, everybody's taking notes, and they were ordered to destroy the notes from that meeting, and somebody did not destroy the notes. They said, this is hot gas, hot gas. I'm gonna save this and leak it. And they did, and in that, the entire big pharma industry was shitting bricks, saying we need to cover this up. And so they decided, we're not going to let this out. We're going to modify the study. And they modified it, I believe, 4 iterations until they got it to a point where the study was completely, I mean, it should just be thrown away. But because of the powers that be, they kept it and said, you know what, our original findings were debunked. They love throwing that word around. And our new findings that we now agree with, this is science. This is good stuff. Saying that there's no concern there. And I just want to also add in, there was a Institute of Medicine study in 2010, 2011 that came out saying that that vaccines need to be studied more for their link to autism. They said that the evidence out there is not strong enough to confirm or deny. So this is a gigantic study, again with institutional gold standard science, saying that you cannot reject the hypothesis that vaccines cause autism. But also, we don't know if they do. So if at this point we don't know if they cause autism or not, how come since 2010, 2011 we haven't funded research to look into that? That's my take on that study. You want to talk about Sierra Ortega and?
Oh God. Well, you know what? Before we go into that, I was when I was listening to that, I was like, my youngest daughter is autistic, right? And every one of my kids, they got the fucking what is it called? What is the one that has the hep C or the hep B, right? It's all in one. They got all that. I think so. They got all that at like 2 days old. They got the stuff that they put on the eyes. They got all that stuff.
Vitamin K, Hep B, and erythromycin ointment.
Yeah, all that within like the first 24 hours of being born. And 2 of my kids, they don't have anything wrong with them, but what do you think about the COVID pathogen causing autism? You think there's anything about that?
Could be. Wish they would fund studies to look into it.
Right.
That'd be fun.
It'd be cool.
The billions of dollars we spend on big pharma, you think they would be looking into some of this stuff?
Right.
COVID pathogen is linked to
Oh
a
no!
lot of this crazy
I said
stuff.
COVID on YouTube. Fucking shut down.
Oh yeah, COVID misinformation leaked right here.
Right here. Well, I don't know. I'm not saying that it did. I'm just saying look into it.
Yeah.
So they were. I remember when all that went down. I don't know why this stuck in my head, but I remember them comparing the COVID pathogen or the COVID strand to like AIDS. You remember them saying that for like a month?
No.
They were comparing it to like AIDS.
AIDS is
Yeah.
the molecular version of
I
Hitler.
know, but like they were saying that on the radio, like that it has some similarities with AIDS.
Wow.
I don't know how true that is.
It kind of does. I mean, there's so many different things, and it's hard to parse out what.
But I know I remember hearing that, and I'm like, what the fuck? That was like 2019. Oh no, not 2020. Like at the very beginning, them talking about that.
Yeah, it's man-made. You see that they found on the on COVID there is a I forget what it's called, Farron cleavage site or some crap, and it matches up exactly with the site in the lung tissue that would like accept the COVID virus, and it's just like
Yeah, it's like it's you can tell just by that it's came from there's a coating in it.
yeah,
Like it hooks in.
it's impossible for nature to match
To-
it up
Right,
like
to
that.
evolve it like that.
Yeah, so it's so they have the I guess the bullet, but they don't, or they have the smoking gun. They just can't tie it to the lab exactly, even though, I mean, put 2 and 2 together.
Right. Does 2 + 2 = 4?
Did you ever see Jon Stewart's clip with Stephen Colbert about the lab leak theory?
No. That sounds.
It is the
That sounds good.
funniest thing I've ever seen from I don't even know, at least left wing comedians. He goes on Stephen Colbert, and Stephen's trying to do the established Democrat narrative of like
The talking points.
you don't believe that it come from a lab or anything, right? And then John flips the script on him. And Steve's like trying to stop him and bring him back in, like, whoa, hold on. That was really funny. Let's go to the next segment. And John's like, so you're telling me
Oh, I think I have seen that.
the COVID virus didn't escape the Wuhan laboratory for studying novel coronavirus.
Yes, I have seen that clip.
And then
I've seen the clip of it.
It's so good.
It's great.
That's all you need to see. It's like a
He's like,
5-minute
oh.
Then he compares it to Hershey Park. He's like, so tell me this. There's a outbreak of chocolatey goodness outside of Hershey Park, Pennsylvania. We don't know if it comes from the chocolate factory.
Right.
It probably came from the cloaca of a bat. It's like, oh, man.
Oh, I remember that. I do remember that now. Yeah, that was funny. I love watching all this shit get like proven. Like in real time. It's like all these people are like, fucking wrong about everything. Well, I wasn't wrong about this. Yeah, you were. I wasn't wrong about this. Yeah, you were. Here it is.
I love the people that roll it all up into one clip for you to watch. Like,
Yeah, it's like
this was going to be 100% effective, 95% effective, 80% effective. If you get this thing, then you're not going to affect your family and your friends, or you can go back to work. You can't go back to work.
Just get it.
That means everybody still gets affected. You should still get it.
We'll give you a free car if you get it. We'll give you tacos for life.
We'll give you free fries.
Yeah, that's what it was. Free fries. Free fries for a
That video
COVID
is
vaccine.
So weird.
Yeah. I'm gonna run down there for my free fucking fries. No thanks.
Something that would help you get the secondary comorbidity to help you actually die.
I tell you what though, if they had said you don't have to pay taxes ever again for the rest of your life, I would have thought about it. I would have thought about it. So there's a tip for the next time you try to fucking pull the wool over everybody's eyes. You know, maybe no taxes.
That'd be great.
Maybe free healthcare. You know,
Millions of dollars. If
just
you
for the right. If you
tell me
get
your
this
your genome.
right. Yeah, here you go. Maybe no taxes. Maybe make it a little bit worth it. If I'm only gonna live for 30 more years after I get it, at least let me live those 30 years fucking tax free. How about that? No, you wouldn't do that. You're a fucking bunch of pussies.
Yeah. I would never get it.
Free fries. Here you go. Here's your free fries for us to, fucking stick you with poison. Go fuck yourself. How about that? Anyway, speaking of the Chinese virus, let's right into the next segment.
Yeah.
Oh no! ready to get fucking screamed at? Get canceled? YouTube's gonna be like, by the way, this isn't working out.
Not just from YouTube, our family members and friends I watched
They're
this.
like, you fucking pieces of shit. Why would you say that? No, it's all right.
My phone's gonna blow up after this one. So yeah, there's this lady called Sierra Ortega. For those of you that are familiar with Love Island, a hot new dating show. Not that new, but 2-hour-long episodes, man. Crazy.
I've never even seen a clip from the show. I have no idea.
It's a reality dating show. If you've ever seen Love is Blind or there's so many of these. Love is Blind, I think, is great. This show, it's like a smidge under budget, but it's like super addicting. Everybody's talking about it. There's this lady on Love Island called Sierra Ortega, and she right now is in the hot seat, about to get possibly banned from the show for making a post on social media describing her eyes, as one does.
After getting Botox.
Oh, was it?
Was it?
I don't know. I think she was just
I
saying
saw
that
the
her
word
eyes are
Botox in that
naturally-
article.
Or maybe it was to correct it. Yeah, I don't know.
She's looking too chinky.
Ah, you said it. I was trying to dance around the word.
She's looking a little too Jackie's Galaxy.
Oh man, how I was going to say it is
You can cut that out.
she. You know when you look when you leave your house for this first time in a day and you go outside and you're like, oh.
Yeah, when you walk out of a dark room into like when you walk out of a casino and you've been there all night and you look down at the phone and it's 8 o'clock in the morning. I've been here all day and I've been here all night. And you walk outside. There's no windows in the fucking place. You open up the door. Fucking. That's what she looks like. She looks like that. The fucking.
Accurate description. Oh God.
Oh, the sun. I haven't seen you in 24 hours.
I don't know. So hold on. I mean, we could do the Ayatollah skit, but we can't do this. I don't know.
No, it's because they're gonna be the next superpower, and they're gonna take over, and then we can't say anything bad about them
Yeah.
for fucking throwing COVID at us, and now we're getting canceled for chinky eyes.
Wasn't all of them. It's the
It wasn't all, I'm not making fun of them. I am making fun of them a little bit, but
Making fun with.
I didn't fucking shoot their mother in the back of the head in front of them. Like, what the fuck?
You ever go on Kill Tony? You ever watch Kill Tony?
Yeah, I've seen it.
They could say it on there. We could.
Yeah, we can say it on here. Fuck them. Fuck it. It's all right.
China's a floating island of garbage.
Oh no, they make floating islands of garbage.
They do. And Tony Hinchcliffe was trying to make light of that, point people into a very environmental justice sort of.
Yeah.
And they
We're
said,
talking about China, right? Not Puerto Rico.
well,
China
take it.
China actually makes floating islands of garbage.
Yeah. But Tony Hinchcliffe was talking about Puerto Rico,
Calling it
And-
a floating island of garbage. Puerto Ricans are all right. I like the Puerto Ricans. My brother-in-law's, well, brother-in-laws. my sister-in-law's boyfriends were Puerto Rican. They're cool. I hang out with them. They make good food.
They do.
I love it.
They
I
love
got no
live
problems.
music.
I got no problems with anybody from any race at all. I'm gonna make fun of you, cause that's life, buddy.
Although I am
People are gonna make fun of me on
extremely
here.
white, I'm Cuban. A lot of people forget that. And not just like 25% Cuban, like basically off the boat. No. And I got in trouble from some acquaintances for sharing something that was, I don't know, I just like it's lightly funny. You know what it was? It was the meme. I completely forget about it, but it was a meme making fun of people getting deported, and now people don't want to talk to me anymore. I'm like, but I'm Spanish.
You're Hispanic.
Hispanic. Yeah, but I guess you also have to have the skin tone to.
Is it
claim
Hispanic if you're Cuban?
Man.
Is it? Do they count it as that? Or is it like another classification, like fucking Caribbean? Because isn't that like kind of like the Caribbean area?
Caribbean. You got the
No,
Latino.
no, no, no. You guys came from the Spanish colonies, so you're Hispanic. Just not like the other Hispanics. You're like you're
We
Cuban.
do the TH.
The TH. I went over my head.
No, there's you have Spaniard Spanish, which they do like the sound for a lot of their. It's two different dialects.
You want me to throw away my whole Italian heritage on here?
What is it?
All right. Well, I'm Italian and French, and I'm fucking Native American. So go ahead, make one fucking racial joke against me. Call me a white boy. I dare you. I was here first. Anyways, no, fucking the Italians, like, man, guys, don't fucking come at me for this. I love my Italian people, but we're pretty close. We got a lot of vowels in our fucking language, at the end.
At the end, that's where it counts.
We're all right. We're brothers. We're brothers over here. Come on.
Yeah.
We'll be okay.
Should be able to get into.
They're gonna be like, you fucking asshole. We're not Spanish. No, we're Italians. All right. I'm Italian. It's all right.
So yeah.
If you go back 100 years, it's like they didn't like us either. We were the immigrants then. We were the South Americans and Mexicans of today.
I feel like almost every culture has had their turn at it.
Yeah, if you like, what the fuck? What are we talking?
And there's so much of history that's gotten burned in a race. It's like we don't fully know.
I love the people that try to take the moral high ground on it. Like, if you go back into any culture, I mean, bro, we're all pieces of shit, okay? Nobody is fucking safe from it. We're all pieces of shit. Okay? That's it. That's my take on it. You go far back enough into every fucking culture on Earth. There's all the bullshit. There's slavery in all of it. Just about. There's mistakes, there's wars, there's genocides, there's slavery, there's all types of shit.
I agree with you.
So why can't we talk about it? Why can't we make fun of people? Is it really me? Are we racist for saying it?
Not unless you bring
if you actively go out of your way, like, you fucking pieces, like, I hate these people because of who they are or what they are, like, that's different. Yeah, you're an asshole. But
it depends on the context too. I mean, we're right now on a comedy podcast.
Yeah,
it's basically comedy with some politics. Literally it's called SupWith. We're saying what's up with that. We can't even speak proper English, and you want us to know what's going on with history.
Buddy, my last grade before I dropped out of high school in English was a 9. Okay? What do you want from me?
We're giving hot takes.
Hot takes. Hot cakes.
That's what you're here for.
You're here for the hot cakes or the hot takes?
If you're here studying.
I'm here for the hot cakes, if you can't tell.
I lure him here every week.
Get you off the RFK diet.
I got beers and coffee and pizza.
Coffee, pizza, eating like shit. Oh, man. All right. Well, I'm not running for political office, so I'm saying it all. I'm throwing it out there.
Bridget McCrone is a man.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, right into the next segment. Yeah, if she ain't a man, she's very. If she's not a man, then she is definitely a pedophile. Cause did you hear that story? Fucking I was his teacher.
I forget the age. He was.
Oh, by the way,
young.
I'm French too, so I can talk about him.
Oh.
I'm French.
Oh.
French, Italian,
You're
and
just
Native
claim
American.
No. I could talk about Kim Jong-un.
I could talk about the Italians. I could talk about the French, and I can kind of talk about the Native Americans a little bit. There's only a little.
Yeah.
The French got down with the Native Americans, so that's where it comes from. On my father's side, my mom's 100%. Well, she's 100% Italian, but if you talk to the Italians, she's half Sicilian, half Italian. Grandfather came from the north. Grandmother came from the south. Came from Sicily. Sicilian blood. So there's a little Ethiopian mix in there
little
too.
island.
If you go back into the history of Sicily, there's a little bit of Ethiopian blood in there too.
Oh.
If you go back to like the 13th century or something like that.
That's the one part of history I haven't.
But I'm not gonna
forgotten.
come on here and be like I'm black, you know what I mean? I can't do that. That's too far removed. That's too far back in the history books.
Oh god, way in the back of the bus.
Yeah, 13th century.
Jeez.
I think they came over there and fucking pillaged and fucked a lot of the Italian women,
the
Sicilian women.
The Punic Wars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
They rode elephants, dude. That's like one of the sickest wars.
Yeah.
From Ethiopia.
Well, they got him on a boat and brought him over to Sicily.
They walked them over fucking through Spain.
Walked him over through Spain.
I don't know how they did it.
They can't. There
was
doesn't
that
connect.
little canal.
Unless
there.
they went all the way around, like through Israel and shit, and came down. And
I
then
think
still got
They
on a
also
boat.
had like a battalion go that way, but with the elephants, they went through Spain. So I forget how they did something. Maybe
I don't know. Maybe.
before they widened that canal there or something. But they got the elephants across. I mean, many of them died.
I fucking assume so.
And I think this is maybe the third Punic War or something. And when they brought the elephants, and I don't think they won this one, but just like how sick it is to know that the Ethiopians rode elephants all over to Italy.
They got elephants in Europe before the Europeans decided that we want elephants. They're like, we're bringing them here. It's crazy. Bridget Macron, a man, maybe. I don't know.
I could see it.
Why does everybody hate Thomas Massie?
Yeah.
Because he bitched about some of the bill. It's all right.
Thomas Massie is, I think he's pretty close to where I am politically. I don't know too much about him, so I don't want this to come back and bite me. But things I know about him from the past few years, the guy's pretty much in the middle. He's not a left, he's not right. He is
He just wants to stop the spending, right?
like
He's GOP, isn't he?
He's GOP. Yeah, he's Republican senator.
Yeah.
But he's against the big beautiful bill because it spends too much money. He's also never accepted $1 from APAC. So he's against what we're doing out there.
I already like him.
See what I'm saying?
And I know nothing about him.
He,
I gotta look more into this guy.
He's like a regenerative farmer. He lives off the grid. This guy, like, I heard him on a podcast with Theo Von. It's like the life that he lives is pretty cool. I mean,
yeah.
but they hate him because he's not going along with the narrative that they're trying to pitch.
What state is he from?
Kentucky,
Do you know?
I think.
Kentucky?
Uh,
Kentucky. All right.
fact check.
I gotta look into him because his name popped up a lot in the last fucking 2 months talking about this bill. So I'm like, who the fuck is Thomas Massie? Like, I've heard the name before, but I got that fucking small New England fucking mindset where I'm focused on like the general election and like what the fuck's kind of happening here. You know?
It's a lot out there, man.
I don't know what the fuck's going on in Kentucky. Like, I do a little bit, but
Yeah,
you know.
it's beautiful.
Another
I've been thinking
thing-
about moving down there because, dude, it's so
What,
cheap.
Kentucky?
The houses down there.
Yeah. All right.
It's almost like why?
So that's about the extent that yeah, it's cheap down there, but you know what you make down there?
Well, if you work from home, you can make Boston money.
Yeah, but once they know where you live, they're like, oh, we can fucking, no? You're gonna get me a job from home. Fucking go down there, buy a nice piece of, they hate us though. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
fucking outsiders. They probably think like, oh, these fucking blue New Englanders are moving down here. Deep blue New Englanders.
Deep blue.
Nah, bro, I like what you like. I'm on board, kind of, you know?
When you pull up that moving truck, you just put the Trump flag on the side of the U-Haul. So then the
Look
neighbors.
it, I'm gonna walk down there and be like, what up, though?
What up, though?
What up, though? How are ya?
What's up with this neighborhood? You put on a little southern twang. They're like, what?
Dude, I would love
Not
it.
us.
You know how many nights I sit up, fucking watching people, like, build houses and shit, like, out in the middle of nowhere, like,
Are
building,
you
like,
watching those
cabins.
like mud hut house buildings?
No,
They
no,
really-
not that. I'm talking about like here, like has a good YouTube channel I can recommend to you for it. It's called Bush Radical. He builds houses and shit. I don't know exactly where it is. I think it's in Michigan. I think. I'm not sure. But he's got like he did one in Alaska, one in Michigan, I think. I hope I'm not doxing this person like where he lives and shit, but bro, it's fucking it's cool to watch. Like I don't know what the guy does for a living or what he did. Like you gotta have some kind of money to get like the land and stuff, but bro, if I didn't have kid like once my kids are old enough and they're on their own and shit, I would fucking do that. Would fucking save all my money and do that.
Yeah, well, it's
I gotta get over my fear of bugs though
oh,
to
yeah?
do that. Not a big fan of bugs.
I hate bugs. You're right.
And
I don't like to
I'd
use
have
the
to
chemicals
acclimate myself to no air conditioning.
because that's where they all come in.
Well, no. I mean, like, there's power there, but I'm fucking, running an air conditioner on a fucking generator all summer long.
You don't gotta move out to the middle of nowhere, dude. Like the suburbs of Knoxville.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I would, like, if I had the money, I would like to do that.
Yeah,
Move out to the middle of nowhere. Bro, I don't like I like people, but the only thing that I think that I would miss is like hanging out with like certain friends and shit, and then I would miss the beach, but I would do that.
Yeah.
I would like to do that.
I thought about it because first time home buyer, you just have to live there for 2 years. I'm like, for 2 years, I think I could do it. I could leave all my friends and go make a grip off a cheap house.
I would
Somewhere good, a good market where I know in like 2 years I can leave it, Airbnb it. Maybe it's a multi-family, 2-3 unit. I could get a renter to replace my unit. Come back up here.
Yeah, my mom kept telling me to buy a duplex, like a raised ranch side by side or something.
Yeah.
That way you could have an income. Fucking. It's tough though because you gotta look into like the state laws and shit. It's fucking hard to get tenants, good tenants, and then to get them out if it doesn't work out, it's fucking even harder. You gotta pay for everything. I don't know. Seems like a lot of work.
Most states, except for like Deep Blue, are favorable to the landlord.
Favorable, yeah. I definitely wouldn't do it in New York.
Yeah, rent control.
After what I saw with with like the squatter rights and shit. Did you see all that shit that was popping off like a year or two ago?
I was watching a documentary about the squatter rights, which is
fuck that. Yeah, right. I'm gonna buy something for somebody to just say, huh, I'm gonna live here now. And you can't do shit about it. Oh, I'm gonna go on vacation. I'm gonna come back. Fucking house is occupied. No, you can't get them out. Yeah, fucking right.
Yep.
I'll let that shit on fire.
Optional. Yeah.
Fuck that, bro. I wouldn't actually light it on fire, but I would think about it.
Hire Ozzy Osbourne to go in there and threaten to bite off their head. That's probably how we ended up.
What's going on with that dude?
Well,
how did that make the cut?
I don't know.
I don't know. Okay, Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy Osbourne. I remember that show that he had. It was like the real life of Ozzy Osbourne, or the Osbournes.
Nah.
His daughter, his wife was just
maybe like a couple clips. Bro, I don't watch TV. And like reality TV, like that show you brought up with the chinky eye girl or whatever.
Yeah.
I fucking anything that like has like the shaky camera, like, well, not just like anything that looks like reality TV. I'm just like, no.
Whoa.
No. Not for me. I am not their targeted demographic.
Oh, yeah.
And neither is my wife, thank God. Like, keeping up with the Kardashians and shit.
Yeah.
Like, well, who the fuck? I get the appeal for like women, but like, I don't know why the fuck would I watch that? Give a shit about that.
The drama. People like the drama.
People like the drama. I don't know. Like, you know what I watch? I watch like 4 or 5 YouTubers with my wife, like Mr. Ballin, fucking Gray Still Plays, or if it ain't that, I watch Fail Army. I watch people getting fucked up all the time doing dumb shit. Like that's what me and my wife will put on.
Shoot.
And then if I'm by myself, it's fucking, those podcasts that I listed off before. Family Guy over and over and over again. You know how many? I know every episode of fucking Family Guy.
Are they funny again? Because I stopped watching them after like.
Oh yeah, no, they're not. I only watched from like season 1 to like season 16 maybe.
16.
Yeah, I cut it off there. Once they started making fun of my beloved Trump, I was like, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
You know.
Once I got rid of.
But they stopped.
Yeah.
Not even just that. Like I don't really care about that. But they just stopped being like. They stopped taking like risk.
Yeah.
You know.
They do safe jokes now.
Maybe it's because like it did like for a while I was just like my wife would put that on every night to go to sleep, and I was just like, bro, I can't watch another fucking episode of Family Guy. I can't do it. Like she's like, oh come on. And I'm like, no. Like in the daytime when we're eating dinner and shit. Like come on, we'll put on. No, I'm all set. You fucking burnt it out. 3.5 years of that on every night.
Archer's good if you ever watched that.
I've seen a couple episodes. You know what we were talking about? Fucking me and Katie. We were talking about Adult Swim. You remember that?
Oh yeah.
The lineup.
That was my thing.
I remember my mom had to work a lot and shit. So like I would get dropped off at my aunt's house like when she had to go to work super early in the morning. So like I would catch like the last hour of Adult Swim. I'd catch like Metalopolis and stuff, and then it would go to like Transformers or whatever. But when I slept over my uncle's house when she had to work, we would always like share the basement and shit. It'd be like me and my cousin, the cousin that's the same age and the cousin that's a little older. We would sleep in the basement, camp out, and it would be like what was it? It was like Family Guy came on first, I think, and then it was Robot Chicken, then the Boondocks would come on. Like, I missed that time.
Those are all fun.
It makes me want to go back and like just watch like reruns of like Adult Swim. Like if somebody recorded it and shit.
Yeah.
It's like nostalgic at this point.
Probably, dude, that'd be a good use for a VHS. Get all
right.
the reruns for like $1. VHS for $5. Set it up.
I still have a
TV.
VHS player somewhere in my basement. It definitely doesn't work anymore, but I got a VHS player. I have a lot of VHS tapes still. Like all the fucking old school Disney movies and shit.
Oh.
My dog Skip's in there somewhere. Fucking.
I kept hanging out. Every like couple years, I'd go through the VHSs, and I'm like, I gotta throw out some of them. I got hundreds of them. And then finally one year, I was like, I've been doing this clean out every couple
for
years,
years,
and I never watched one of them.
Right. Just fucking got rid of all of them.
Donated them.
Yeah, bro, every time I move, I'm like, fuck, I gotta fucking carry these things around, you know?
Yeah. And they don't look good. I'm not like gonna set them up. It's just
No, I know. Up until like maybe like a year or two ago, I had all the DVDs out on like a rack and shit. Like I liked my DVD collection. And I'm like, bro, one month we don't have enough money to pay the Wi-Fi or whatever. We're gonna be fucking watching those. But then the Xbox stopped playing them.
no.
They like put like I don't know what happened. I used to be able to watch them on there. Now it don't work. I'm like, motherfuckers. I'm not gonna go out and buy a DVD player to watch DVDs. Half these movies are already on streaming services and shit, so that's what they want me to do. I already have the fucking movie, and I gotta keep paying them to watch the same fucking movies that I already have. I got all these DVDs.
They're working for big TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want you to.
You know what? I changed my mind. I'm going to buy a DVD player tonight. Fuck you guys. Fuck you guys. I'm gonna break out the DVDs again, the Blu-ray players. How's that? Go watch Python.
I was
I don't fucking know where that came from.
I was thinking about maybe next week doing a segment where we invite somebody like my mother on here.
Oh my God.
I show her my jokes
No way.
and like get her reaction.
I would fucking love it, bro.
I tell her my jokes, and she goes, "Honey, you can't say that. You're gonna get canceled.
Nah.
You're gonna, there goes your career." She's probably right, but I'll tell you guys one of the jokes.
Oh no.
What is it? So, and I got inspired. This joke was inspired by our last episode.
Oh boy.
But Sydney Sweeney is selling her DNA through soap. But when I get my DNA all over a bathroom, I get banned from Wendy's.
Oh God.
I didn't think it was that bad.
You know something? To any future employee out there, if you don't find some of this funny, I don't want to work for you. I'm gonna say that right outright. If you come on here, right, and say it's like 10, 15 years from now, you look back at it, or you're like, is this you making these stupid ass jokes, these racist ass jokes? Be like, yeah, it's me. It's me.
I think
If I don't get the job for that, then I'm fucking glad I didn't. I'm glad I didn't. I'm fucking happy doing what I'm doing right now. Wish I had a little more money, but
I think they're gonna have to loosen their grip on it. Eventually, they'll realize that everybody with $50 can start a podcast.
dude, you know what else too?
Talk shit with their friends.
I see the shit that's on TikTok. Like my wife will show me some of the stupid shit that's on there. It's like we're all fucked. If we gotta live to the standard where it's like, oh, you can't say this, you can't. Who fucking cares? Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Come on. You know that it's a joke. You know that people sometimes say stupid shit. Like, I just don't get it. I don't get how people can be so uptight about shit that was meant in like a private conversation, or if it was meant as a fucking joke. Get over it. Don't be a pussy. Don't be gay. Don't be gay. How about
If you're
that?
playing this video at, let's say, a kindergarten, that's your fault. You shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
If you're playing this at work, make sure you keep the volume down low. It's context clues, right? You don't, how many
Right.
people watch porn? Are you gonna just show your boss? Like, look at
Like,
this
hey,
video I
look
found,
at
bro.
this one. Look at this one. I'll send you the link.
It's like, no, that was a time and a place for that.
Right. Right.
So I'm on YouTube sending this stuff out to people that would enjoy the content. If you're gonna fire somebody like me, there's tons of people doing exactly what we're doing, and for them to lose their job off of having fun, seeking hopefully a secondary income from this is entrepreneurship in a way.
Yep.
Blowing off some steam, and I just think it's wrong. And I think that kind of thing that's been happening is gonna fall off anyway because this is getting so popular that in a few
Comedy's
years
making a comeback.
they can't fire every
You
one of their
had
employees.
you had from 2015 to 2025 to cancel people. Okay, it's over. All right, it's over. Fuck you. How about that?
But honestly, dude, every like 20-year-old right now, every 15-year-old has a TikTok where they're dancing and doing some dumb crap. So in 10 years, when they're working at corporate America, is it your job as an employer to go check their TikTok account and make
Good
sure
luck.
that the songs they were dancing to were politically correct?
Right.
Because everything changes.
Yeah. Look at the climate now. 10 years ago, you say something like I don't know, chinky eyes, and you're fucking done. Look what happened to Shane Gillis.
Yeah.
Did the voice? Oh, you're not gonna work on SNL? Fuck you. Look at how good he's got it now.
Yeah. And that's such
You're
a
throwing
mistake.
away good talent on or I don't know. Just who gives a shit?
He's
You
now
really that offended about shit?
selling out Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
And
I love
Saturday
'em.
Night Live has been, everybody talked about how they're dying. They're plummeting. Imagine if they didn't fire Shane Gillis. Saturday Night Live would be one of the funny, people would be talking about that. They would have won back a
Right,
lot of the conservative viewers that they've lost, I think.
I get why like certain things can't be on TV. You know, like I can kind of see it from that perspective. You can't go on the radio and say fuck and this and that because there could be a 3-year-old sitting in the back seat. That's the first word they remember. Fuck, oh, fuck, you know? But, like, after a certain time on TV, fucking say whatever you want to say. And definitely this shit. Like, the internet.
Yeah.
Who fucking cares? Yeah. Why? I think for a while people stopped caring. Like, I think we're already into, like, the field of people not giving a fuck.
I think at first it was just so new. Like,
right. Like, how dare you?
This is millions of people are gonna see this, and how dare you say something like that? But now it's like, oh crap, everyone's doing it. 95% of my workforce has content on the internet that's gonna be disagreeable with somebody.
Right. Get over it. You know, like, who gives a shit?
And the other 5% are illegal. So.
Oh no!
So you can't fire your whole.
Yeah, I'm gonna lose my $3 employee. $3 an hour. I need him. I don't care what he does, but you made a joke. You're gonna get crucified. You're fired. Get the fuck out of here. All right, you want to talk about 1776 slavery?
Yeah.
All
right. Good or bad?
No. All right. So, what you put that on there for what I brought up earlier, right, Thomas?
Yeah, I wanted you had some fun. So in honor.
I love the notes. The notes are great.
July 4th. I just do 2 words to like jog your memory.
Like, oh, all right. Slavery.
But yeah, July 4th. In history, in celebration, let's do a little bit of a history lesson. And we got our guy here, Russell, who is an expert.
That's a loose word.
He's like the friend group expert, not like somebody you'd invite on.
You get enough beers than me,
Tucker Carlson.
Right? One too many beers, I'm not gonna make sense, and one too less beers, I'm gonna be oh fuck, I forget, But all right, 1776 slavery. So I was what fucking show was I watching or listening to? No, they were jogging the memory of Thomas Jefferson. He's a kind of controversial because he had slaves himself, but he was proposing that in 1776 that all men are created equal. He proposed the abolishment of slavery in 1776 before Great Britain did, but like politics is and how politics does, we needed everybody to be unified in this death warrant that we were signing to the biggest and largest naval and army on earth to get in, fight for independence for it. We're basically saying, yeah, well, this is all our wealth, this is all this, we're going against you, fuck your T-tax, fuck everything. And we needed everybody, including the fucking racist South, I guess, at the time, right? Yeah. So that didn't make it into the cut. It didn't make it into the final draft. But they were thinking about it. And I guess, I don't know where I'm going with it. But
basically, you're saying that this was a concern that was brought up at the dawn of our
country. We had always known that if we're going to live up to the ideals of America, that this needed to go at some point. And they wanted to get rid of it then. At least some of the founders did.
So they couldn't get enough support from everyone at the time?
They were, not that they couldn't, they took it out because they didn't want to lose the support from the South. You start throwing that into the bill, and then the South turns around at the time and says, hey, this is the biggest, this is how we fucking survive. This is our economy. And yeah. I know, like, it's fucked up. It's fucked up how it was, but this was a practice for everybody.
So basically, like, all right, hold on, let's all get together in the most basic of ways to fight for our independence from England. Then once the dust settles, if we win, one day we're gonna
get rid of this, right?
Yeah, but right now,
it only took them.
Can't have too many battles at once.
Yeah, it took them 90 years to fucking finally have a war about it and say that, hey, this is kind of fucking fucked up. you know?
That's interesting. I think that's an important thing too, because so many people.
I think it's good for like the liberals to have like the context of it. Like I'm sure most of them do, because they probably bring this up a lot. Like Thomas Jefferson had slaves, George Washington had slaves, all this shit. But in the back of their heads, they were still thinking about this. They knew that this was gonna go away at some point, but they kicked the can down the road.
Or at least they wanted to. It was their intent, and not everybody was on board. I just think
they took it out because of, well, at least this is the opinion or the way it was framed in the argument on the show that I listened to. But they took it out because they needed the support from the South and they didn't want to fuck it up. Not fucking sticking up for them in any way, but that's just what it is, you know? That is the ideal of America, was to get better over time. We're an imperfect nation, and that we always strive to do better.
I like that.
We fucking dropped the ball for 90 years on getting rid of slavery. It's a weird topic, and I know it probably comes off weird from me, but I don't know. Fucking, I thought it was important to bring up that you know, we're celebrating the 4th of July. Some of us are, you know, but
Yeah.
some of us are celebrating the 4th of July. I don't know if you can tell who, but fuck.
Yeah.
The country is great. I think that this country is great. And
It's worth fighting for.
It's
even
worth
if the
fighting for
people
the
you
ideals
disagree
of
with
it.
are in charge. Yeah. Are in
Right.
charge.
The ideals of this country are good. It's why everybody's fucking fighting and climbing over borders to get here.
Yeah.
And if we don't, we can recognize our mistakes and recognize all the bad that comes with it, as long as we recognize that there's a lot of good that came out of this country. And I'm saying that at the end of a slavery fucking segment. But no, I'm serious. It's fucking, I don't know where I'm going with this. We're gonna make mistakes. And we're going into a new era where we don't want to repeat mistakes. I don't know. I don't know.
I think it's a fun piece
To my
of
future
history.
employee, please. My future employer. Fucking.
Context is important. Like when I hear somebody gets in trouble for a crime and they're arrested, I'm like, well, why did they do it? And not
Right.
to mean like they shouldn't go to jail for it, but it helps me be like, oh, they had to do it for their family or something, or they had to do it for some other reason. Context always helps.
Context is good to have, but it doesn't negate the fact that
Yeah, it doesn't always justify.
it doesn't always justify it. It doesn't justify it. You know?
But perhaps George Washington wasn't a complete piece of shit. Or not him. You're saying Thomas Jefferson.
Well, they were.
Again.
They were all on there. Come on. No, they were all on there. You know, it's just. You're going back to like the context of like, and the radio station could frame it however they wanted to frame it. You know, we go back in history and we look at certain things, and it's very easy to bring up the conclusion of, wow, this guy's a fucking asshole. This guy's this, or you know, just like 100 years from now, they're gonna look back and some people are gonna say, wow, Donald Trump was great, Joe Biden sucked, or the other way around. You know, but. I don't know. Fucking, I thought it was an interesting thing to bring up on July 3rd when I was listening to it, you know, and that I didn't know that there was anti-slavery, like not legislation, but in the founding document, it was gonna be in there, and they took it out. And they took it out simply because they wanted to stay unified with the South. And then we fought a fucking big ass war about it 90 years later, and we got rid of it. And then we had another 100 years later, we get, you know, the laws that we have today, kind of the modern laws of don't be a fucking asshole. I don't know. I mean, it took us, what, almost 200 years to get to the point of don't be a dick. It took us about 100 years of okay, this is wrong. This is crazy. We're gonna have to shoot racism out of the South.
Yeah. It only took us
Not to pick on the South or anything, but the fuck.
took us 10 years to realize men don't belong in women's sports. So
Right.
that happened a little quicker.
Right. That just what grinds my gears about it the most, like they condemn this country because of the sin of slavery, right? There is still a slave trade in Africa right now. There's more slaves on Earth than ever right now. And it's not here. So, what the fuck? What the fuck? I mean, I get it. Don't forget the history, but also recognize what it is. And maybe put your energy into fucking solving that problem too.
Bring light to it, yeah. These
That's-
children in
that's my take on it.
cobalt mines, mining the cobalt for our phones.
Right.
It's not good.
Look at every product you get from China. Who do you think's putting it together?
Children.
Not every product from China, but they got the Muslim population in China in slavery.
Oh yeah.
I don't fucking care about that. Go ahead, fucking say what you want to say about me, whatever. But that's happening over there.
Burp, burp.
All right,
Speaking about socialist ideals,
all right.
uh,
Here we go.
our last segment for this episode is brought to you by New York Democrat primary winner Mamdani.
Democrat primary winner. I thought he was a self-proclaimed socialist.
He is, but he infiltrated the
Democratic Party.
yeah.
Oh, that's the way it would slip in there.
So interesting enough is that everybody's pissed off about this, left and right. Finally a uniting issue where Democrats don't want the socialists to win and the Republicans don't want them to win. Republicans don't want this guy to win so bad that they are willing. They're requesting the Republican that's running in the race to drop out, and tell his supporters to vote for a Democrat. So the Democrat wins against the socialist.
Now, who is that Democrat? Is that
I think there's
Cuomo still?
two of them, Cuomo, and I think Eric Adams is still running.
Oh
I don't know,
yeah.
I forget which one.
I was wondering about like where the fuck is Eric Adams and all this? Because I kept hearing Cuomo over and over again, and I'm like, yeah, but don't they? You can run for that position. There's no term limit on that, right?
I have no idea. Probably not.
I don't know. I don't know how New York works.
But I think Eric Adams is probably the least of the three evils.
Yeah, and he's also the one that's playing ball with immigration.
Yeah.
So
Same
I'll
ball.
take Eric Adams, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not a New Yorker. You guys really want the gas control prices and the fucking socialist supermarkets? You go for it. I think you should lose your federal funding. That's my opinion on it. You want to have that? That's great, but maybe that'll spark some talks about if you're gonna go this fucking crazy, then maybe you fucking fund it.
Yeah.
As you're losing all the fucking rich people from your state.
That's a fun way to think about it. There's so much
How about that?
zest for socialism out there. Perhaps give them a chance to see how terrible it really is, and then everybody says, "Oh yeah, that's why we don't do
Yeah.
that."
But New York is a big fucking.
Unfortunately, it has to be with one of our largest cities in the United States.
That's what I'm saying.
Could have started with.
There's a big. That's an economic
Knoxville.
powerhouse. Isn't that where a lot of the ports are there too?
Yeah.
For all the shit that comes into this region. So
No bueno.
no bueno. We're just all gonna get a shit sandwich and get fucked because you got enough retards down there to fucking vote for this guy.
Either way, if Eric Adams won, I mean, preferably none of the Democrats or socialists won. And I haven't vetted the Republican runner, so I don't know if he's.
I don't
good
even
either.
know who the Republican runner is in that state
I don't know.
or for that city.
Yeah.
When's the governor race over there?
Oh, for governor?
Is that 2026? Or is it 2028 for her? Kathy Hochul, or whatever her name is.
Hochul.
Jamie. I don't know. I don't know.
But yeah, let's see how that plays out.
That'd be fun. Gonna hemorrhage all your richest people to Miami. Let's do the census, baby.
Florida also has really cheap real estate.
Yeah.
Some beautiful laws. Ron DeSantis.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
You got
Balanced the budget, I believe, or he's doing something great
for Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good. He's good for Florida. I like him. If it wasn't Donald Trump in the last election, I probably would have voted for him. You know, if he runs again, maybe.
Before Kennedy threw his hat in the ring, I was considering DeSantis because he did such a good job during the.
You know that's
the
Elon
pandemic.
Musk's first pick, right?
DeSantis?
Yeah, before Trump.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know this. I know Thomas Massie was on Team DeSantis. So
I don't know too much about Thomas Massie. I told you I gotta look into him. Gay sex.
gay sex.
Fucking from the last podcast. Oh shit.
Yeah.
All right.
You want to alt later?
No. Yeah. I think that's it, right? We covered what we covered.
Covered it.
Come back next week and hear us talk some more shit, have some racist jokes, and fucking cry about it.
Cry.
Cry about it.
You turn it over.
I don't fucking know. How do you end this one? Came off of the alt later.
later.